Hello everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I am making another Valentine's Day card using the Pix favorites from Mama Elephant. So I started by grounding my images, which is just a bunny with a heart, but I used the purple tape to make sure that there was some grounding. And now I am going to stamp it out using Gina K Design Amalgam ink. This is on Neenah 110 because I am going to color with my Copic markers. And I decided also to make a mask immediately, so I tried the leftover ink, but it was almost completely gone, so I inked it up once more. So now I am trimming out this image, and I couldn't find my scissors that I normally use, so it was a challenge. But it worked out, so who is complaining? After trimming it out, I am going to adhere it on top of my image, and then I will first continue with my background. So for this background, I decided to use a new stencil that I got from my favorite things. It's called Ray of Light. And the end result is not really what I had in my mind, but in the end I also love it, so I just kept continuing. So I'm using dried marigold and festive berries. So I started with the festive berries and I just added a really light layer on top of this and just keeping it in the bottom, fading out towards the top. So the plan was to keep it really soft and light, but when I continued with my stencil, I didn't realize that I was going quite heavy-handed over my panel, so it turned out a bit heavier colored than I imagined myself making, but if it works, it works. So do not worry if the first plan is not going. Then you just continue with your second plan. So I'm using purple tape to adhere this stencil on top of my card panel, and I'm also gluing the stencil with purple tape on top of my scrap piece paper. And now I am going to add a layer of dried marigold. When I removed the stencil, I realized that I was going too heavy-handed over this stencil, so I decided to go over it once more with festive berries to soften it a bit more. Now that I am happy with the background, I can spritz some Distress sprayer on top of this to get a bit more of dimension going on, and then I can remove my masks. So for the purple tape, if you don't want to rip your paper or decrease the chance of ripping your paper, I highly suggest to rip it off in an angle and go slowly, if possible, to make sure that you don't rip anything. And then I removed my mask, and I'm going to keep it on the back of my stamp set so that I can use it another time, and then I can start with coloring my image. So for the Copic coloring, I will be putting the caps on the left, and I decided to zoom in on my coloring. It was a question that I got in the comments in some previous videos, so just let me know if you like it this way, and I will try to do it in the future more. But I am filming with my phone, so it's not always that easy to zoom in right and stuff like that. So I will try, and just let me know. For my Copic coloring, normally I start with my lightest color, go in with my darkest, and then my mid-tone back to the lightest. But for this case, I decided to go in with my darkest first, and then use my lighter color tones. So there are different ways to color with Copic markers, it's just the way that you prefer. But as I told you before, I try to do the different techniques, so I switch between them because I want to get better in all of them. So it's just trial and error sometimes, but during the coloring I will now be putting on some music to make it a bit more pleasant, and then I will be back afterwards. Now that the coloring is done, the only thing missing is a sentiment, in my opinion. So I took these Sunday sentiments from Mama Elephant. There are some really lovely sentiments in it that you can use for Valentine, but also for just giving a card to a friend, of course. But some of them are truly so cute to give to someone special. And that I am also thinking about this sentiment. So I am stamping it out on this piece using the Gina Design Amalgam ink once more, so it also matches with the outline of my bunny. So the sentiment says, once in a while someone amazing comes along, and that's you. How cute is that? So stamping it out, and now I thought, is there still something missing or not? So I decided to take my Trinity stamp Sweet-N-Tart Heart Sprinkle mix, and I truly love this mix, so I wanted it for a really long time. And I'm living in Belgium, and we don't have that much craft stores yet, and also not so much online stores. So I have been looking for these so long, and then I found them on Simon Says Stamp, but then they were sold out, so I was really sad about it. But I got my hands on it, and as you can see, I fiddled a bit and was thinking about adding more, but that one heart on the bottom was just enough, I thought, so used liquid glue and added it. Now I am preparing my card base, and I am going to adhere this panel on top of it using my permanent Pritt adhesive roller. And then I will only be adding a bit of color to the nose because I forgot it, and also some glossy accents onto this heart. So that's it for my card today. I really hope that you like the design. It's truly simple and easy to make. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below. I will answer them as quick as possible, but I truly appreciate you all taking the time to watch this video. And I hope to see you next time. Bye!